On Who's Number One, Nicholas Meregali was essentially bashing those that were skipping ADCC in favor of CJI. Now, he said something like, I guess money is more important to some than legacy. If I'm misquoting him, my apologies, but it was something to that effect. I'm curious for both you and Mason, what are your thoughts when it comes to legacy for a jiu-jitsu athlete?
You want to go first, Victor?
Yeah, first of all, anything that guy says, I try to not take super serious. But I think he said kind of like quite the opposite when it comes to IBJJF. Not long ago, before he says that about ADCC, he said like, oh yeah, man, you got to go for the money because IBJJF don't want to pay anybody. So that's why I'm doing no-gi. That's why I'm doing this and that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he kind of said something like that. So to change the narrative so quickly, I thought was kind of funny. And when it comes to legacy, like I'm one that also strives for legacy, like I've competed in many world championships and stuff like that. But, like you're only going to be able to compete at the jiu-jitsu for so long. And all of us, have different legacies. But a lot of us, whenever we finish our careers, we don't really have the means to kind of like live from all the work that we put in the sport. So seeing events like this, it can change how like you're gonna live after this is done, because you're not gonna be able to compete forever. And sometimes people just like try to push as much as they can because that's the only way that they can kind of like make a living out of. So when it comes to legacy, I think it's important, but also what's important is like, are you gonna take care of as whenever you're done with it? Like you gave so much to the sport. What are the things that you have when you're done with it? So that is that point. And legacy for legacy, man, like we're in a sport that we have a lot of world champions, but we don't have a lot of millionaires. So being a millionaire in this sport is kind of like a legacy too. So that's the way.
And I will say, so my take on that is, would you rather be like Craig, for example, who Craig probably makes more money than everyone else when it comes to instructional seminars, merch, etc. And Craig technically doesn't have like a world title to his name. He's placed second at 2 ADCCs, and then I think he placed fourth before that. But Craig makes more money than all of us. Whenever Craig competes, he's making way more than all of us, except maybe Gordon, right? Who's the greatest
honestly,
of all time.
When it comes to legacy, like if you ask who Craig Jones is and who I am, a lot of people know him more than I. So
yeah, and you have
it's just like you do things for yourself.
Titles. Yeah,
you're kind of like doing it for yourself and for the ones around you for most of the time. But when it comes to like, even like the point when I start realizing this most, whenever I start doing the no-gi fights, they always get my accolades wrong. Victor Hugo, one-time Pan Am champion, two-time world champion. Every time it changes, I'm like, bro, nobody cares, it seems. Like I'm the one that cares the most. But when it comes to some certain level, they know the name, but they don't really like know like exactly what you want and stuff like that. And just like to your point, Mason.
Yeah, and I mean, we can look at even Mikey Musumeci as a perfect example. I believe he won 4 black belt world titles, maybe more. I think it's 4. And then decided to sign with ONE FC and now competes exclusively for ONE FC and is probably making more money than everyone else. It's not about legacy. It's about marketing. Marketing is the most important thing for us. And competing in tournaments is a way to market ourselves, right? But there are other ways to market yourselves. So you guys, I mean, there's people out there that are teaching seminars that are making money that have never even competed in ADCC. And then there's ADCC champions that can't book a seminar, right? Yeah. So ADCC is a platform. It's not about the legacy. It's about using the platform. But you can't just win ADCC. You also have to market yourself and use that as a marketing tool. So I think that's way more important. Marketing is way more important than legacy.
Yeah, correct. And even more than nowadays, maybe back then it would matter the most because we didn't have internet and stuff like that. So you would hear the stories through like tournament stars. Oh yeah, that guy was at the tournament. He won the tournament 5 times. But today, so much information that you can easily, like make some noise like in different ways.
And look what like ONE FC is doing.
People still ask him, why are you not doing ADCC? And he was like, bro, I'm doing like multiple matches a year. I'll make a ton of money. And am I going to go to ADCC to compete with guys like 20 pounds heavier than I in a rule set that he probably would struggle to kind of like adapt because of his game too. So it's just like you said, man.
It's so true that nowadays, marketing so much more important than legacy. 20, 30 years ago, of course it was more important to win those tournaments because that's all people saw or heard of is who won the tournament. Nowadays, it's like for example, Attack It. Or for like, I'll say like one of my losses in the UFC, I got more fans after a win because even if you put on a really good show on camera and people see that, you'll still garnish fans because it's just a different day and age now that people want to see the now. They don't care about what you did win or what you won. They see what's in front of them right now. And so, it's like you can literally get fans off of close losses or exciting losses or winning a good match. And then you might not win the tournament, but in the semis, you looked really freaking good. So, people will remember that more than just who won the tournament nowadays. Like back in the day, it was like who got first because nobody cares who got second. But now it's like, since everything's on film and video, being able to market yourself in that sense is really, it's so much more important. And it sucks because I know that combat sports, especially grappling, like wrestling and jiu-jitsu, it really is a legacy sport. It's like before I got into fighting, I guess as I got into later parts of my wrestling career, it was never about the dollar bill. It was never about the amount of money I could win. It was about just winning that like medal or winning first place, like being the person who's on top of the podium.
It's not how we were taught too, right? Like,
yes,
we are not taught like training room, like, hey man, like you train hard, but also have to market yourself hard. You have to know how you're going to say things. It's about like, hey man, you go there and you win gold. Like that shit doesn't matter.
And you win. Yeah, you're right. It's like when I was 6, I wanted to be an Olympic wrestling gold medalist. I didn't want the $250,000 that came with it.
You didn't want to be an influencer?
Huh? No. You know what I mean? No.
That's what kids are saying nowadays, bro. When they're in school,
like,
they're like, I want to be an influencer.
Influencer. That's crazy, bro. But it's just this day and age. It's like for a guy like Meregali, it's like shame on him for not, keeping up with times. Like I get his argument of legacy, but it's like, hey, bro, that day and age might have passed already.
Mm-hmm.
You guys agree? Mason, you agree with me there?
Yeah, and I'm at the point now where I would rather be rich than be a ADCC champion or a CGI
100%,
champion.
100%.
Like if you could give me the option of like I go out there and I win CGI and I look great, but I don't get any money, or like I lose and I look horrible and I get the money, I would just take the money. Like I don't care about I don't care about the legacy in the slightest. And I'm 31 now.
Yeah.
I care about money.
I'm not gonna neglect legacy, but I think I'm also doing like I've done a lot to my legacy. So for me now, I'm at a point in my career that I actually need the part of the marketing because people don't know enough of my legacy. So what can I do to help my own legacy? Like when it comes to legacy, I'm a 6-time world champion, a black belt, but if I win one more world championship, how much is that going to count on like how many people are going to know? So I think right now for me also is like, how am I going to like let people know of how great I am and the things I have achieved, like what are the channels that I have to hit for that? So to your point, like it's a different time that we're living. So for me, it's like adapt to that too, like learning how to adapt to that.
So true. It's like if you win another world title, I mean, how much more is that going to mean? Like, how much more money is that going to put in your pocket as opposed to you focusing on how to put money in your pocket? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say that coming back on the DMs in the future would do a lot more for your legacy than winning another title, potentially.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Vic.
There we go.
All right, what do you think? What's more important, legacy or a big bag of cash? Let us know down in the comments. And if you're digging this video, then you're really going to like this one. So this is the entire conversation we had with Victor Hugo, where we did talk about legacy, we talked about his experience at CJI, and we talked about moving forward and, of course, overcoming such an upsetting loss. So again, if you like this, you're going to love that. So we'll see you there. Peace.